Okay, I'm finally getting around to doing this story. I believe it was Matt that had asked me to talk about somebody that I would like to go to dinner with or that I had already gone to dinner with in the past. And my answer to that is it goes back a few years when we were living in Columbus, Mississippi. And Natalie and Nicole and Allison were just little girls, and Aaron, I don't think, was even around at this point of time. But whenever we had a graduation for those who had been attending pilot training, at the conclusion of their training, the graduation dinner was a big deal. And we typically had prominent people come and address the graduates and relate some of their history. And so that's what I'd like to relate to you. The person that I'm talking about is General Robinson Risner. And he came and spoke at one of our graduation dinners. Those of you that don't know anything about General Risner, he, like your grandfather, my dad, served in 3 wars. He enlisted in the Army Air Corps during World War II and eventually went to pilot training. And then most of his history dates back to the Korean War and then Vietnam. He became an ace as a fighter pilot in Korea. I believe he shot down 8 enemy aircraft during his time in Korea. And then later in the 1960s, he again served in Vietnam. The thing that kind of led to his fame, besides being an ace, is that he was shot down in Vietnam and ended up spending 7.5 years as a prisoner of war in the Hanoi Hilton. And I'd like to read just a couple of things that describe his experience as a prisoner of war. And the reason, let me just say that the reason that I have such tremendous respect for him and for those who served with him is that they endured horrible conditions, and in his case for a total of 7.5 years. That for many of us is almost incomprehensible. But anyway, let me just read a few things that describe his experiences as a POW. On September 16th, and I believe the year was 1965, while flying against a SAM site, Risner was shot down. Captured immediately, he was moved to the Hoa Lo prison in Hanoi, the famous Hanoi Hilton. His tiny cell was infested with rats, and the food was awful, usually a thin gruel. Then the torture began. And I'm not going to describe the torture. If you're interested in that, you can go to Google and learn about that. But then he says, or it says, other tortures were less physically painful, but hurt more psychologically. As a senior POW, it was Risner's responsibility to agitate for better conditions for all prisoners. Doing so earned him solitary confinement and starvation. Worse, the guards boarded up his cell's air vents and turned off his light, plunging him into total darkness for weeks at a time. Eventually, all prisoners broke and answered questions. Risner told his fellows they should, quote, resist until you are tortured, but do not take torture to the point where you lose your capability to think, and do not take torture to the point where you lose the permanent use of your limbs. Close quote. Risner credits his faith for surviving this ordeal. He prayed constantly for his family and fellow prisoners, that he would endure and that the torture would stop. He related later that his prayers were answered, and he was able to miraculously remove his shackles on one occasion when the pain was especially bad. So that's one reference that I wanted to read, and there's one more that I'd like to go to. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay. A 9-foot bronze statue of Risner, sculpted by Lawrence M. Ludke and mounted on a 5-foot pedestal of black granite, was commissioned by H. Ross Perot and dedicated in the Air Gardens at the Air Force Academy on November 16, 2001. In addition to replicating the Risner Award, the statue commemorates Risner and other POWs who were punished for holding religious services in their room at the Hanoi Hilton on February 7, 1971, in defiance of North Vietnamese authorities. The statue was made 9 feet tall in memory of Risner's statement commenting on his comrades singing the Star-Spangled Banner and God Bless America, that I, quote, felt like I was 9 feet tall and could go bear hunting with a switch, close quote. Anyway, I think that these stories kind of indicate the kind of man that Robbie Risner was, as well as several others. I've read many books regarding the history of people who were held POW during not only the Vietnamese War, but also some of the other conflicts that we've been involved with. And so for me, it was a real occasion when General Risner came and addressed our graduating class there at Columbus Air Force Base. And I have nothing but tremendous respect and awe for those kind of men. Anyway, that's my story, the story of a dinner that I was able to go to, and the individual that we were able to share that dinner with. On that evening, I did get a copy of his book, and it's an autographed copy, and it's someplace, I'm sure. I haven't seen it for many years, but probably someplace in this house. It's in a box, tucked away someplace. Anyway, that's all I've got to say, and want everybody to know that I love you all, and look forward to the next time we can all be together. Bye-bye.